Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode 217 of Ask Vidas and Usha podcast. This question was sent by Francher, and she writes, "My dear Vidas, thank you so much for your response and inquiry. Although it is unlikely that I'll ever perform, I do practice very well and for at least 2 hours every day. I start my day with an hour to an hour and a half practice, and end my day with another hour with several shorter sessions as time permits throughout the day. I knew I wanted to be an organist when I was about 10 years old. I also knew I wanted to be an architect then too. As a profession, architecture won, so I spent my productive years doing the architecture thing. Although I piddled with the organ for many years, I didn't start serious music study until I retired at age 72. I found a wonderful teacher who convinced me that I would learn more quickly if I knew some theory. So I went back to college at 74 and studied music theory for a time. Then, after studying with her for 4 years, she abruptly gave up on all her students and quit teaching. That's when I discovered Total Organist, and I've been studying with you ever since. I am so grateful for your teaching efforts. Based upon your reorganized material, I would place myself in the early intermediate stage of development. At 80, I learn much more slowly than in my youth. Now I say I'm 8 years into what will be for me a 20-year program. So as long as I am able, we'll be working together far into the future. Thanks again for all that you and Usha do for Organist and the organ. Francher. So it's really wonderful to read this type of feedback, right, Usha?
Yes, it's amazing.
It's never too late to play the organ and to improve, even at 80 or even later in life, right?
Yes, that's right. And it's so nice that, some people are able to do that.
Yeah, because when we are younger, we have so many other things that we have to do, and there is not enough time, right? So then when we retire, sometimes we get to do what we really want.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing.
And Francher also rightly mentioned that her previous teacher encouraged her to study music theory. Why music theory is so important, Osha?
I think it's important. It's, in order to be a good musician, you need to have performance skills, technical abilities to play music well, but it's also important to understand it well too. And that's where theory comes in. And we keep fighting with my students and our colleagues at school all the time. It's like endless war. Between theory teachers and performance teachers. Because performers often say, "Oh, we can teach them to play without any theory."
Which is partly true.
Well, yes, but and theory teachers just laugh about their attitude, because I think it leaves you, it takes you to a dead end.
And in today's environment, where everybody can do what you do, you have to be unique. And if you have two people doing what they can at the same level, like all things being equal, right? And one person knows music theory well and another doesn't. It's, I think, a no-brainer to understand who will be picked in in promotion, in other things, because theory background gives you, as you say, understanding how the music is put together, which in turn lets you to interpret music better.
Yes.
And people who don't know this, they will never be able to teach.
That's right.
Right, because they only have been taught themselves how to do it without understanding why, the reason behind the solutions. And then if you never teach, right, if you never share your experiences to other people, you will never grow to the best of your ability. You will grow somewhat, but not as much as you could. And you don't have to teach at a formal institution, right? Like we both teach you right now, right, Osha? It's teaching. Blogging is teaching. Podcasting is teaching. Everything that you share freely with the world is, in a way, teaching.
Yeah, so I think, it was smart whoever, suggested for Francher to go, to learn some music theory. And it doesn't mean that you need to write a dissertation, about any theoretical subject.
Mm-hmm.
But, still it broadens your horizons.
With our rigid system, I think we have trouble communicating this correctly with young generation, and sometimes really we miss the mark, and like two passing ships in the middle of the ocean, we don't communicate well. They want to play, and we want them to understand the music, and they don't want to understand why they need this. But I guess the best way, and for Francher and others who are listening to this, to think about music theory would be to learn it and right away apply it in your organ practice. Analyze the pieces that you're playing, be aware of how it's put together, not so much theoretical concepts for the concept's sake, which is fine, but you will forget it if you not apply it, right, Osha?
Yes. And so my colleagues at school, we simply stops arguing with me when we finds out that I'm also a performer, not only theory teacher. So
and in our school, the best music theory teachers are always performers.
That's true.
Not necessarily performing right now, but they were performing majors.
That's right, yes.
Because they know real music, not just dry rules. So, and Francher discovered Total Organist over the years, and yes, she is a long-term student of ours. And of course, just recently we decided to reorganize the material so that they could look at the levels of difficulty. For example, music for beginners, music for intermediate or basic level first, then intermediate, and then advanced level organist. And this way, people could really simply pick what they like from that level, right? So Francher is putting herself in early intermediate stage. What does it mean in your opinion? Is it that she can play more things than the basic level students can, or something else?
Of course, I think she should be able to play more advanced pieces.
More advanced more advanced pieces than Orgelbüchlein, probably.
Yes.
Because Orgelbüchlein would be like the best example for basic level stuff, right? Orgelbüchlein and probably 8 little preludes and fugues.
That's right, if we are thinking about Bach.
And if we're thinking about, let's say, romantic music, what would that be for basic level? Like Bellman, maybe Prière?
Yes, Bellman, and probably like, Organist by César Franck.
Slower, basically, movements of the large scale works, basically. Not too fast, not too virtuosic, not too
That's
chromatic
right.
also.
Yes.
So wonderful. And then the early intermediate level allows you to gradually progress to longer preludes and fugues, right? Maybe not 2 pages long or 3 pages long, but maybe 4 or 5 or even 6, right?
That's right.
What about the chorale-based works, Osha?
Well, I think you could select some of Leipzig chorales. Slower, yes, like non-com, probably.
Like the one we recommended to study for John from Australia, BWV 569 or 659. Yes, 659.
Yes.
It's longer and ornate melody, but not too difficult.
That's right.
Because Schmückedig from the same collection
It's harder. It's much harder.
Okay, so what would you wish for Francher in the upcoming months?
Just to wish her to continue what she's doing. I think it's great that she's still able to play.
And practicing at that age really, I think, slows down aging process. Don't you think?
I think so, yes.
Would you, Osha, hope to practice at that age when you, for example, reach 80 years old?
It would be wonderful, but I don't know how I will succeed.
But if we live that long, I think ideally would be to continue to push, to continue to practice, at least a little bit every day, because when you practice every day you stay curious every day, and if you stay curious every day your mind is engaged every day, and if your mind is engaged every day you are using your mind, and it's like a muscle, your brain, right? It gradually also becomes stronger even at that age when your body, for example, gets weaker.
True.
And it definitely prevents Alzheimer's, for example.
Maybe we need to do a research about it to find out how many organists at elderly age have an Alzheimer.
We could do a survey, yeah, starting from like 65 plus, right? And from our subscribers, they could vote, right, whether they have Alzheimer's or not, and we could see the percentage, and I think that percentage might be quite small.
I hope so, because the playing organ really trains your brain.
Exactly, and body and mind coordination too. Everything is connected here. So, thank you so much, Francher, and others who are sending these wonderful questions. I think this discussion allows us to really help you grow. So please keep sending them, and keep practicing, because remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.